Hi everybody, this is Mary Ellen. Coming to you from Moonrise Cottage, I have another brief message that I'm just sharing about the soul journey, group journey that we are having, those of us who want to travel out together on this beautiful water trine and the energy of the eclipse, a partial eclipse of the sun in Cancer. We're moving quickly towards the days of the full moon eclipse, and I wanted to share with you a little bit more about the adventure that Spirit's saying that we are having together. So those of you who have seen the previous videos about this adventure that we're having, this is just a little bit more information that I wanted to share quickly today so that you can be in full awareness as you are making the decision to join those of us that are going out together for an adventure, Spirit says. So I have been blessed with a very beautiful, loving partnership with a person who is a Scorpio, actually a triple water sign, as Spirit says, as magic would induce. His name is Dave, and I'm going to post Dave's reading as well for the week about the energy that's happening. So please check that out. It's really beautiful. It's very reflective of all that's been happening in the background. So let's see where to start. The cards, I guess. Dave and I spent a bunch of time together. We've been spending some time in very intense energy exchange and conversation, very deep conversation. Spirit's calling it conversations of bravery about what it is to be finding yourself connecting to another human being in a very deep way for a particular mystical, spiritual purpose. And as I've been saying in the videos, it's about going deep. It's about reaching a karmic moment and traveling forward into the completion of a cycle in order that the next phase of destiny can come forward. We're talking about the family of humanity and the way that we can all travel together on the energy of the beautiful water set point and the water trine has been all of a sudden popping through my head today. All about the trine, Spirit says. So there are the cards. I'm not going to go through them one by one, but if you just sort of look into the cards, we are having this moment where we are standing at the gateway. And, the High Priestess is there. She is the guardian of truth. And so we're looking into the deeper, more mystical aspects of the truth of our identities. And she looks into the beautiful keeper of harmony that is the Emperor card. It's about having power in order, Spirit saying, for the social good, right? So when you come into a place of power, and you stand in your life as the Emperor, what is that you do with that gift? So if you look at the human realm, we are going on a journey, and we're going really deep. And that card, obviously an adventure card, in order to transform and transmute. If you haven't seen the Scorpio reading, please go watch it. Watch all the water sign readings, if you will. So Dave and I had a really deep conversation, several, and during one of them we decided, let's pull the cards. Let's find out what is happening, what the mystical realm wants from us in these moments, given this deep connection that's happening. So I pulled the cards. Actually, Dave pulled some cards too. Hey, Dave, I didn't ask you this, but maybe if you have time, you can make a little video about that. That'd be great, and we'll put it on the channel as well. And, it's a moment of destiny. It's a moment when you stand before you find yourself in your place. If you look at the top row of cards, all of a sudden you arrive. And the teaching that you need to have comes forward. And that young man that sits in that chair, he has his magical power with him, and it's time for more learning. And then the Challenger of Will, the place of releasing fears, being given a sacred moment where you can release your fears and then travel forward into the power of the warrior of skill, the man who stands at the ready, waiting for the impulse to arrive, so that the journey that is meant to happen and the energy that is meant to be enlivened can go forward. And the beautiful outcome card, of course, that's the Morrigan, the sacred mystical shamaness who leads us out on this journey that we're going on. The other thing, Spirit's asking me to show you the cards and read to you from the book about the runes that came forward when we pulled the runes. So Dave went first. He pulled the rune, and the rune that came out was partnership. And it is sitting there on the star card. So I'm going to read that to you first. So just give me a moment to flip through the pages of the book. I'm going to read this to you, if I can find the page. There we go. Okay, so this is the rune Gabo. It is about partnership, about a gift. Drawing this rune is an indication that partnership in some form is at hand. In love relationships, in business matters, partnering of every kind, you are put on notice not to collapse yourself into that union. For true partnership is achieved only by separate and whole beings who retain their separateness even as they unite. Remember to let the winds of heaven dance between you. At the same time, there is another aspect of partnership that you are being called to consider. For the path of partnership can lead you to the realization of a still greater union with the higher self and union with the divine. And I don't know if you guys can hear it. I was just talking with Dave. It's raining. You know, the water element energy is here, and it's raining harder than I've ever seen it rain here. Kind of like a subtropical downpour, and it went on all last night as well. So, you know, obviously we're talking about union with the divine, and that's the intention. The rune of partnership has no reverse position, for it signifies the gift of freedom from which flows all other gifts. So that's the purpose of the experience that we are all having as a result of what's going on in the heavens. And, you know, like the butterfly that came here, that's how I feel about this partnership with Dave. I have to talk louder because it's raining so hard that it's so noisy, and I'm loving it, of course, because I'm me. So if you look at the bottom row and you look at the middle card, obviously that's about gestation, something new. And at the top of that human figure, there is the Pisces element. And in Dave's chart, the Pisces element is with Chiron. So the very healing moment coming forward when we think about the notion of standstill. So that's the rune that's sitting there. Standstill talks about being in a place where everything is suspended and there's no forward movement. There's just this moment. And the skill, if you will, in this energy that comes out through this rune is about being able to stand still and tolerate that while something really mystical happens. And the energies that are present in this mystical churning that I was talking about in the Scorpio reading can do their work. So this is Isa. It is the rune of standstill and withdrawal. The winter of spiritual life is upon you. You may find yourself entangled in a situation to whose implications you are, in effect, blind. You may feel powerless to do anything except submit, surrender, or even sacrifice some long-held cherished desire. Be patient, for this is the period of gestation that precedes a rebirth. Trying to hold on can result in shallowness of feeling, a sense of being out of touch with life. Seek instead to discover what it is you are holding on to that perpetuates the conditions in your life and let go. Shed, release, cleanse away the old, because doing so will bring on the thaw. Usually, Isa requires a sacrifice of the personal I at such a time. You cannot hope to rely on help or friendly support, and yet there is no reason for anxiety. Submit to the moment and be still, for what you are experiencing is not necessarily the result of your actions, habits, but rather arises from conditions about which you can do nothing. What has been full must be empty, and what has increased must decrease. This is the way of heaven and earth, and to surrender is to display courage and wisdom. And yet there is another face to stand still. Just as winter is a time for going deeply within, drawing Isa can announce a time of restoration and renewal at the deepest level. In your solitude, exercise caution. Do not stubbornly persist in attempting to work your will. Remain mindful that the seed of the new is present in the shell of the old. The seed of unrealized potential. It is the seed of the good. Trust your process and watch for the signs of spring. So I just wanted to let everybody know, first of all, thank you to everyone who's responded to my prior video about going on this journey. Dave and I have been working over the last couple of days on aligning the energy and being able to travel together in sort of an astral travel kind of way. And we have reached the point where we are ready. And so tonight at 9:30 New York time zone, we will open the channel of energy together. And Dave has a lot of really intense energy, so we'll be utilizing that as the cards predicted in the Scorpio reading. And I will prepare myself. I will wait for you to show up, and I will greet you. So there is a circle forming. Take some quiet time. Lie down if you need to. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, Spirit's saying it doesn't matter. Just use your spiritual intention to come to the circle, and you will feel yourself standing there with us, Spirit's saying. And when the moment is right, I will utilize the energy that Dave sends out, and we will experience the fusion of all of us together, all the energy set points, and we'll go out for a little journey. I don't know how long it will last. When you feel ready to disconnect from that, that's fine. Spirit's saying, you can say, hey, thank you so much. I have to move on. And I think, like what happened last night, I think that the energy stream will be open for the entirety of the night. Spirit's talking about, remind people we're talking about New York time. So we're just going to leave that energy stream open. And Spirit's inviting you to step in at any time. If you want to be there for the moment of ignition, that'll be fun. Anytime you want to step in and out. And if you have any dreams, if you have any thoughts, if you have any realizations, whatever comes to you, if you would share that on the thread below the video, we would appreciate that very much. So thanks, everyone. I'm looking forward to our journey. And I'm loving you very deeply for all your dedication and your accompaniment while I go on this path of discovery that I'm on. I'll see you tonight.